A seed neither fears light nor fears darkness, but uses both to grow. And same you have to remember, if you are thrown dirt as your enemy, you have to use ground as your friend and grow beyond the limitations. So if you also abide by the same, or if you get motivated by the same, you have come to the right place. So hello and welcome. This is Himanshi Kaushik, your host of the day, and I would like to welcome you all in today's webinar on vegetable seedling production. And I hope that you all are doing fine, sound and happy at wherever you're taking this webinar from. So before we move on and learn a lot more about vegetable and seedling production through our session today, we have our expert with us. We have Dr. Deven Verma, an assistant professor, Department of Horticulture, School of Agriculture, Lovely Professional University here with us. He is an experienced academician who has completed his graduation and post-graduation in agriculture from CCHAU Hisar. He has completed his PhD from IARI, New Delhi, and soon after that, he had joined ANDUT Ayodhya as a faculty. Since then, he has gained years of experience in teaching and has been guiding various masters and PhD students. He also has 10 publications under his wings already. So, sir, it is a pleasure for us to be here. And, sir, looking forward for an amazing session.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for introducing me. Hello, once again, a very good morning to all of you. And a slight correction, this will be the vegetable seedling production session. Okay, the difference is that here we are focusing mainly on the production of vegetable seedling only. Okay, seedling, you may be understanding that vegetables, they produce seeds, and using the seeds we propagate them to the next season or next year of production. And in doing so, the utmost important thing, or you can say the first most important thing after the preparation of land, should be the quality of vegetable seedling. So that's what our focus would be on today. And with that, I would like to start the session. You see, let's say, yeah, these will be the contents of our presentation. The first one will be the important questions that you need to understand, and you must be able to answer by the end of this presentation, or and then in order to answer these questions that I'll raise, the first step would be having a peek at the success stories. So, and you will be surprised to know when I'll show you the photographs of those farmers who has adopted this, you can say, the marvelous technique of raising seedlings, and has gained, and you can say, equality and social, economic freedom in their life. Then we'll focus upon the advantages of seedling production. That will be a quick one slide, and then there will be the raising of seedlings, which is the major part of this, you can say, major chunk of this presentation. And after that, we'll focus upon the important steps to be followed, the hardening, points to ponder, and then there will be a quick, you can say, advancement slide for all of you to have a look at. So with that, let's start. So first of all, you can see these are some of the questions that you must be able to answer after the completion of the session. Like, first of all, why is it important to have good quality seedlings, right? How will you understand, how will you tell that these are the good quality seedlings, and why are they important? So first question, why is it important to have good quality seedlings? Then what are the most important facilities and systems used in a nursery, and that too the nursery grown in the greenhouse or in a protected structure? Then what are the most important materials used in seedling production, and the requirements, what requirements should they meet? Then how can you recognize a high quality seedling? Like, if you are producing a high quality seedling, or let's say if you are going for purchasing of high quality seedling in the market, you must understand that there are few criterias which you should look for in the seedling, so that you can decide that the quality of the seedling is better, and they will produce new and healthier plants in your field or your garden. Then what are the most important issues in vegetable seedling management? These will be touching upon here and there and in the presentation. And what are the principal techniques for seedling growth, control, and hardening? Okay, so what is this hardening? What are the equipments, this high-tech nursery or nursery production or greenhouse production? We will see. So first of all, as I've mentioned earlier, that we'll be focusing upon the success stories first. Although there are many farmers around India who have gained a lot by just by producing seedlings. These two success stories, they have come up in this publication, the success story of vegetable seedling entrepreneurs, Biotech Kisan Hub. Anyone can check it. And for success story of this farmer, this Mrs. J. Supriya, you can even visit onto this link, YouTube link, and you can watch her story. And then, so the first entrepreneur, as mentioned here, is the Mrs. J. Supriya. She belongs to Andhra Pradesh. So all of you people from Andhra, you can be very proud. You can be very proud of. And by the way, both of these ladies, they are from Anantapur. Okay, and then the another farmer, as mentioned over here, is the Mrs. J. Dhanalakshmi. And you can see a photograph of Mrs. J. Dhanalakshmi, supported by the Biotech Kisan Hub, and producing the seedlings, and you can say interacting with the farmers. So this is one success story. And why to go to, let's say, a distant place? Let's have a look in our backyard. You see, in nearby lovely professional university, around 20 kilometers from here, there's a institute known as Center of Excellence for Vegetables. Okay, the short form mentioned over here is CEV. Okay, CEV Kartarpur. It is on the national highway. Just you can say, well, you move from Jalandhar to Amritsar, you can find it on the right hand side of the highway. So I visited this Kartarpur, CEV Kartarpur, near about in March, beginning of March, this year only. There I came to know that these people, they are self-financed. And how are they financing their institute? Because it's a big institute, big setup, as you can have an idea just by looking at the photograph of this unit. Okay, so how are they supporting themselves? They're supporting by producing seedlings for the farmers. And to be very precise, they do it so they do support themselves by I would say by charging the farmers for production, for the service of production of seedling from the seed which farmers only give them. Okay, so it's like you have a packet of seed, you want to raise the seedling, you can contact this institute, you can go to the CEV Kartarpur, give them the packet, seed packet, and after a month or so, with some, obviously with some additional charges, with fee, nominal fee, you can get the seedling, healthy, attractive, beautiful seedlings, free from diseases, pests. By the way, these are the methods by which you, or the steps, indicators by which you decide that the seedling is good or not. Okay, so CEV Kartarpur is another success story, that they are sustaining themselves just by involving themselves in the business of seedling production. And personally, I have met 3 or 4 farmers who have, during my PhD, I have interacted with them. So I know that there are farmers in and around India, Bangalore, you can name it, you can name these big cities. There will be farmers who are, you can say, earning a lot of money just by getting into the business of seedling production. They do not produce the seed, by the way, they do not produce the seed. They only purchase the seed from the market, bring it to their place, and using these type of structures or without the structure, they raise the proper healthy seedling. Okay, that's the business. So this shows that the seedling production can work as a nice business model for those of you budding agri entrepreneurs, okay, or who want to get into this field of let's say agriculture. You can venture inside. And here in LPU, we do have the seedling production unit, but it's not on a commercial scale because we teach it to the students. Okay, we teach it to the students. We have actually, in the case of BSc Honors Agriculture, we have a course. So that course is for the students in second year. uh, and in that, during practicals, they are supposed to raise the seedlings and then show it as a progress. So talking about the coming on to the next point, the advantages of seedling production, like okay, the farmers, they are producing it, as we have seen the success stories also. I gave you the example of CEV also, fine. But why do we need to produce the seedling? Why cannot we just uh, you can say sow the seed in the main field only directly? Okay, that can be a question that can come to your mind. You see, uh, in order to answer a why, we must understand the gravity of, or you can say the advantages of raising a seedling. Okay, the farmer will be happier if you are giving him or her a crop that is already 1 month in advance than the other farmers. Okay, because it helps in, you can say, getting an early crop. And just to give you a slight idea about the getting an early crop, let's say you might be all enjoying the muskmelon or watermelon right now in the summers, right? That may be that you may be purchasing at a rate of rupees 20 a kg, or let's say a premium price of 30 rupees a kg. But the same watermelon or muskmelon was available starting from the March end or April. Okay, and that was priced at around 50 rupees a kg. Okay, that is the power of having an early crop. So other than that, these are a few important points regarding the advantages of seedling production. First of all, you can see the main field can be utilized for extending crop duration or taking up of a short duration crop. A short duration crop, for example, it can be a crop like say palak, spinach. Okay, it is produced. It just only takes 1 month to produce palak, and within the production, within the period of seedling production, when you can say you're raising your nursery or your seedlings are being raised by someone else, you can take up a new crop, a short duration crop, or whatever the old crop was, you can extend its duration and take multiple harvests. As you might be aware that in case of vegetables, vegetables are not like cereals. In case of cereals, most of the vegetables I'm saying, in case of cereals, you are sowing the crop and then harvesting it all at once, right? You would have seen it in case of paddy, in case of rice, in case of wheat, in case of maize, things like that. But in our crop, in the case of vegetables, you can allow the crop to produce more and more vegetables, provided if you know that how to extend the duration of the crop, how to harvest it at what stage, at right stage. Okay, then one more advantage of seedling production can be that you can leave, let's say if you do not have the um, the short duration crop with you, or if you do not want to grow it, then you can just leave the field fallow. Fallow means without any crop for 1 month or so. That will help the soil to recover from the exhaustion of the nutrients which has happened in the previous season. Then this point, green manuring crop, what does it mean? It means that you would have heard of this dhecha or something like that. These are the crops, special crops belonging to leguminosae family. Okay, special crops which can be raised in the field and then plowed back into the field. They are grown, okay, in the field, and then when they attain a proper vegetative stage, they are plowed back into the soil. That is another way of recharging the soil fertility. Okay, then more time for land preparation. Yes, this thing is a very practical problem that happens. Land preparation means plowing of the land, adding the FYM, fertilizer, and other things to the land, and then allowing it to settle down for some time. That is known as land preparation. So if you, like say, have harvested a crop immediately, let's say potato you have harvested, okay, in February, March, and you want to go for an early crop of tomato, or let's say an early crop of cucurbits, then in that case you may not find the time gap required for land preparation. By raising the seedlings in the nursery or getting the seedlings raised by someone else, or let's say just purchasing the seedling, going to the market and purchasing the seedling, the farmer may have more time to prepare the land. Then saving of resources. Do you know what is the cost of a hybrid gynoecious cucumber seed? I'll tell you. It is around 6 rupees per seed. The packet is of 1,000 seeds, and the packet costs around 6,000 to 7,000 or up to 8,000, depending upon the producer, the company that produces it. Okay, so that is the value of seed. That is the cost that is involved in seed. Okay, purchasing the seed. So by raising the seedlings in a nursery, you have a hold on to the number of seeds that you are sowing into the media. By the way, we'll discuss what media is, or the soil. Okay, so the land resource we have discussed earlier, the labor resource in the preparation of land and all these things. Labor is required, water resource, and also the seed resource. They can all be saved just by simply raising the seedlings. And that's why lots and lots of farmers nowadays, they are purchasing seedlings instead of seeds. Okay, then obviously the last point, ensuring good quality planting material. You see, seed is the basic of life, the basis of plant life. Okay, you uh, in case of vegetables, I'm saying, you see, the seed need to be of good quality, best quality, I would say. Okay, but at the same time, you must understand that raising it, okay, exposing it to the stress or to the insect pest or whatever the things that are required is also very important. So by adopting proper seedling production techniques and by knowing about them, which we will come to know in these in the consecutive slides, you can ensure a good quality planting material that can be used for raising of crops in your field. Right now, you see, yeah, raising of seedlings. So by the way, there are many options of raising of seedlings. The first one is open field nursery, wherein in the nursery itself, the farmer or you are growing seedlings. Okay, the pot nursery, the poly house, they can be used for growing of nursery. The potting plugs, tunnel system, then polyethylene bag or poly bags, they can be used for growing of cucurbit seedlings. Okay, the tray system. The tray system nowadays is catching up a lot. Tray means the tray, pro tray, okay, in which there are individual holes, and in that you just sow the seed. And we'll look at the photograph of this tray system also. And our prime focus will be on these two topics, the tray system as well as the open field nursery. Now let's start the journey of raising the seedling. Yeah, this is, you can see as it is mentioned in the captions, beds are made approximately a meter wide. They can be as long as desired. So in the photograph, you can see, which is visible to you on your screens, the vegetable, for raising the vegetable seedling, the beds are being prepared in the soil. Okay, and remember, the width of a seed bed is important, 1 meter wide. Why 1 meter wide? We'll see. Okay, then you can see there should be a clear walking path between two beds is important. As you can see, the woman over here is measuring the walking path by the length of her feet, and you can see there's a enough walking space. And then this is also important, vermicompost and well decomposed cow dung are mixed into the beds, because obviously your seed, they also require the nutrients, right? Who's going to provide them the nutrients? Obviously the soil, if you are growing it in the soil. So the soil is being, you can say, enriched with the help of vermicompost or the FIM, well decomposed cow dung manure, in this photograph. And then the compost and the dung, the cow dung, the properly decomposed cow dung, I would say, are worked into the soil, and hard chunks of soil are either broken down or removed so that the bed is fine and powdery. You can see using this stick, these chunks these soil clods, the clods of the soil, okay, they are being broken down into finer pieces, finer soil, because the with the soil, the issue is that the soil is going to form clods. So clod will hamper the production or the emergence of seedling. Okay, emergence means when the seedling emerges out or comes out of the soil or the media. That is the seedling emergence. So this big chunk of soil, that is the clod, that can hamper or that can physically be a barrier in the case of production of seedling. Then moving on to the soil treatment. Do we need to treat the soil? Yes, we do need to treat the soil. You see, if you're talking about the growing of seedling in the soil, first of all, you can always rely upon the importance, or you can say the power of the sun. Soil solarization. Okay, soil can be exposed to the sunlight, and allowed to get sterilized. Okay, it's as simple as that. So you can read these points: plow and level the land uniformly, then incorporate the FIM and irrigate. Irrigation is very important in this case. Okay, then spread transparent polythene sheet of 25 to 50 micron or 100 to 200 gauge thickness for 4 to 6 weeks. So what happens in this 4 to 6 weeks duration? You see, this 25 to 50 micron thickness polythene sheet, or you can convert the 25 to 50 micron to gauge, so 100 to 200 gauge thickness, the thick polythene, that will make up the greenhouse effect inside the soil. Okay, the water that you have used for irrigation of the soil here, irrigate, that will be converted into water vapor as it is being exposed to the sunlight every day. Okay, so but there is no space for the water vapor to evaporate, because you have covered everything with uh, the polythene mulch, the polythene sheet, due to which the temperature inside will rise. And the temperature, I'll tell you, can rise up to 52 to 55 degrees Celsius inside that polythene, under that polythene. Okay, so soil solarization is very much important, very critical. And then you can always use nowadays the trichoderma. Trichoderma, it's a bioagent. Okay, trichoderma viridi, and this is available in the market. So you can bring in the powder form and mix it in water. 50 gram per liter of water is required, and then you can just allow the soil to be treated with it. Then the earlier days, when this trichoderma viride, these things were not available, that time these 40% commercial solution of formalin, okay, that was used, and or the bavistine or dithium 45, they have been used. Go to the next slide. So once you have treated the soil, then comes the other operations like seed treatment. Soil treatment is done, soil is solarized. Free solarization, by the way, or you can say the treatment of the soil, means that you are working on the reduction of population of harmful bacteria, fungi, nematodes. These problems you are taking care. Okay, so this, now coming on to the seed treatment. Seed can be treated with a suitable fungicide. For example, captanthirum, we teach our students to use these at the rate of 2 to 3 gram per kg of seed. That is the limit, because these are quite toxic fungicides. That's why. Or else you can always rely upon the Bijamrit. Bijamrit, the on Niti Ayog website also, it's the preparation, the methodology and usage are mentioned, and it's very simple. You just require cow dung, cow urine, add this lime to it, slaked lime, okay, and then water and some amount of soil, and then make a mixture, make a solution. And after that, you just have to, after the preparation of the solution, Bijamrit, you expose your seeds to the soil, to the Bijamrit. So that is also a possibility. Now once the seeds are treated, you can sow them in lines on the bed. Here, remember, we are talking about the seed bed that is prepared in the last in these slides. Okay, on these beds. So here you have to remember that the seeds are to be sown in lines which are to be 5 centimeter apart. Not there's a distance between two lines, 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter. Okay, and then cover the sown seeds with thin layer of FIM. Cover the seeds with dry grass. It will help in maintenance of moisture. Irrigate the beds twice in summers, both morning and evening. In winter, it can be reduced to one irrigation because there is very less, you can say, evaporation of water. So the beds must remain moist but not wet. Otherwise, damping of disease of seedlings may appear. And what is this damping of? We will see in coming up slides. I think 3 or 4 slides after this slide, wherein you will find that this is the killer of this damping of disease is the killer of seedlings. So you have to be very much aware of this disease and its occurrence. So once these things are done, then thick sowing on fine, it's all. Then after the germination, the dry grass which you have used as a cover, as a mulch onto the bed, you need to remove it. And after that, you can always rely upon these chemicals, dithium 45 at the rate of 0.25% for checking of the stamping of disease in the soil bed grown nursery. For good healthy seedlings, you can use this chemical. This chemical is basically, it's a mixture of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, completely soluble in water. Okay, it is available in the market by the name of 19 all. 19, 19, 19. So that's why 19, 19, 19 all. Okay, so you use it, make a mixture of this 3 gram of 19 all, put it in water, 1 liter of water, and spray it on the seedlings. So that this will add nutrients to the seedling and they will become healthier. So, and when to do it? When the plants are 8 to 10 centimeter tall, or you can just remember you can say 12 days to 12, the first sowing, the first application of this spray.
Sir, I'm very sorry to interrupt, but your voice is not audible now, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Sorry for the interruption. There was some issue with my device. So yeah, as I was saying, you can always rely upon this 19, 19, 19 and spray it twice at the rate of 0.3% into the seedlings, and they will be healthy, wealthy, and wise. We can say after 4 to 6 weeks, the plants become 10 to 15 centimeter tall, and that is the stage when they are ready for transplanting. And there are few other indicators also. So then comes the other step, that is the hardening step. Okay, hardening of seedlings, that is also important. So stop irrigating the nursery beds 3 to 4 days before the date of transplanting so that the plants harden. Okay, you see, let's say I'll give you an example. Let's say you all might be having some cousin or some younger brother or sister at your home. Okay, some maybe just neonatal, you can say 1 or 2 months old. So those cousin or brothers, your younger brother, sister, they cannot be directly put into the university for higher studies, right? They have to go phase by phase. From first of all, they will be taught some manners in the home, then in the nursery school, then they will go to the first class, then second, third, fourth, and gradually they are brought into the university for higher studies. Similar thing is happening in the case of hardening of seedlings. seedlings, they are like small babies. Okay, so they cannot be just directly put into the main field because they will all wilt and die. Okay, so instead of that, we uh, gradually expose them to the stress, to, let's say, by just stopping the water, stop irrigating, as it is mentioned, stop irrigating the nursery beds 3 to 4 days before the date of transplanting. Then you can place them in the sun, and there are you can use salt also, salt water, saline water for irrigating them, just to expose them to the stress. So these are some of the ways by which you harden the seedlings. By the way, third or fourth last slide is dedicated to the hardening of seedlings only. So then see, you can see as the seeds are treated, so seeds are being sown in the straight line 5 centimeter apart, okay, on the nursery bed. And then the sown seeds, they are being covered by a thin layer of FYM, or soil compost mix, here in this photograph. And then this woman, she's carrying the mulch, the hay, or the dried straw from the previous crop, to be used as mulch material. And here you can see the dry grass, or the straw, the mulch, that is being put onto the bed to cover the seeds, okay, the freshly sown seeds. So what is the benefit of this? You see, this straw is then used to cover the beds to keep the seeds warm and allow them to germinate. That is important. Then, as I've mentioned, this mulch material will help in reduction of evaporation losses. So then the birds will not be able to pick up the seeds, because that is also a kind of loss. Then for controlling the insect, you can always use this covering of seedbed with 50-meter mesh nylon net that is used to cover up the nursery bed, so that they are protected from this insect over here, that is the white fly. Okay, or you can always treat the soil with the steam, the hot water, the hot steam treatment, that can also be done in order to get rid of the pest population inside the soil. Moving on to the next slide. Yeah, this is the photograph of these are the photographs of using a small tunnel, polytunnel we call it. Okay, this a small tunnel that is raised around the nursery bed. As you can see, these are in the soil, the seedlings are grown, and here using the polythene sheet and this frame of bamboo or the metal, the micro tunnels, or the low tunnels, they are being raised. Then these are some of the insect pests: the aphids, thrips, scales, mealybugs, mites, leaf miner, termites. They are very important for a seedling production or producer or manager perspective. Okay, you need to understand these insect pests and their control mechanisms. By the way, aphids, the mealybugs, then these can be controlled by just applying these type of, you can say, the nylon net, the 50 mesh nylon net. Moving on to the dumping of disease. Last time, some in the previous slides, I was telling you people that the dumping off is a killer of the seedlings. So this is what happens during dumping off. You can see that there's a rotting that is happening in case of the seedlings. Okay, so you need to be very careful with the dumping off disease, and in order to control it, as I've told you, you can go for the soil solarization. You can treat your seeds with the Bijamrit and other things, and you have to be very attentive towards its occurrence. Okay, and these are some of the procedures. This is, by the way, IDM. IDM stands for the integrated disease management, because we here in LPU, we focus on the application of various methods, various technologies to control the disease, other than the chemicals. Okay, if at all the disease is not being controlled, the pest is not being controlled, then we always have the chemicals in our stock and we can use them. But why to unnecessarily use them if you can? Just simply follow the practices. Then coming on to the high-tech nursery raising technique, and in that there are these different types. So we will move on to the technique of nursery raising in the high-tech polyhouse. What is being done by the CEV people, Center of Excellence for Vegetable, Kartarpur. Yeah. So you can see in the case of seed, this pro tray technique or the high-tech polyhouse, you do not grow the seedlings in the soil. Okay, you avoid soil. So what is the in what thing you can raise the seedlings? You can raise the seedlings in something known as pro trays. This is the way you write the word pro trays. Pro trays, by the way, means the propagation trays. That's why it is known as pro trays. The propagation is for pro and then trays. So pro trays are made of soft plastic having shallow plugs, and these plugs, they are filled with the planting medium. What is the medium? Nowadays, the commonly available medium is coco peat. You can purchase it in any shop, nursery shop, or the seed shop, wherever you can find at your nearby your home. Okay, and along with coco peat, you can mix a few other things as well, perlite, vermiculite, and there are multiple things. So this is the photograph of a pro tray available in various shapes. I mean, square, rectangle, then sizes, okay, and then the number of holes, number of wells or cell, we call it. You can see most commonly used pro tray is 98 cell pro tray, 98 cavities or cells are there. 98, 90, 99, 120, 48, 72, there are multiple things. So, and you can see in this photograph, there are holes at the bottom of these cells so that the extra water is drained out of it. Okay. And this is an automatic machine which actually sow the seeds into the pro tray and irrigate them and cover the seeds by you can say the media, by the coco peat. So this woman over here is putting the pro tray filled with the medium onto the conveyor belt. The seeds are loaded into the machine, and from these outlets from this machine, the seeds are sown into the pro trays. Moving on. So yeah, these are the important steps. The preparation of growing medium, the first step. Okay. Then the filling of pro trays with the media that you have prepared. And by the way, this one over here is this simple coco peat, and this one over here, this photograph is the coco peat mixed with the perlite, which is the white part. Okay, and then in the filled in the filled pro trays, you go for the sowing of seed sowing in pro tray, and then these are the seedlings under inside the polyhouse. Okay, it's as simple as that. Okay, so the measures that you take care are similar to what we have learned in the previous one, the raising of seedling in the soil bed, raised nursery bed. Here in this case, you have to irrigate daily. Okay, and then you have to be very cautious with the amount of seed that you are putting in. You have to ensure that there is only one seed in one cell. Okay, one seed per cell. And these shading, thinning, watering, these techniques we have already discussed upon. And then moving on to the planning tools, the first one is the nursery calendar. You must be having a proper nursery calendar which tells you that which seed will be sown in which month. Okay, and then the plant development register is also an important part of having or raising the vegetable seedlings, because what changes you have made this time or the last time, you have to compare the results. Nursery inventory, we can right now we are running out of time, so yeah, this hardening. These are the four or five important methods. First of all, you stop the irrigation. You do not have to completely stop the irrigation. Remember, you have to reduce the frequency. Okay, If you are irrigating the pro trays or the nursery bed twice, then you have to bring it to once. Okay, or you can reduce the amount of water. Twice only you are irrigating, but with half of water. Then gradual exposure to sun. Okay, gradual exposure to low temperature. If your seedlings are to be raised for you can say for cool season crops, then irrigating with salt solution. So salt solution, your normal table salt can also help you with this hardening. 20 gram of salt, you add it in 1 liter of water, and 3 to 4, or let's say 1 week before transplanting, when the seedlings will be ready, you just irrigate twice or thrice with the salt solution. Then points to ponder. These are important points that you can always go through. The thinning should be done. Proper mulching is required. Uh, Always give light irrigation. Avoid excessive watering. Okay, save the seedlings from heavy rainfall, sun scorching, chilly winds, and other things. And then, yeah, these are. This will be my last slide. This will be my last slide. These are the new advancements. You see, the seedling production is a fun, okay, but it is also a science. So here in LP, you are always welcome to learn this science, but along with it, there are multiple experiments that are being conducted in LPU and in various other states, in other state agriculture universities, using biofertilizers. You would have heard of rhizobium. Okay, so that rhizobium is a kind of biofertilizer, and there are multiple fertilizers like that. So these are small microorganisms that you add to the media while the preparation of media, and then you sow the seeds or you add to the seeds. Then use of bioagents. Bioagents, you remember Trichoderma viride I've stressed upon, that is a bioagent because it protects the growing seedling from the harmful pests, diseases, nematodes, and other things. So bioagents, they are also being used and checked for various bioagent doses in various vegetable seedling production. Then this is a wonderful thing, banana leaf pro tray. It has come up in Nagpur, the Cotton Research Institute, CRI. It has come up with banana leaf pro trays. Then biodegradable pro tray is also one aspect that you can work upon, you can experiment with. And then the media constituents. You see, coco peat was one media, coco peat with perlite was another media, coco peat perlite vermiculite was another media, and there are multiple things. So you can always experiment with these things, and these are being experimented. So that is also kind of new advancement. And then there is grafting. Grafting in case of vegetable seedling simply means you put uh, one seedling on top of another. Okay, rootstock from another seed and sign from another seed, like you would have seen in case of various fruit trees. Okay, so similar thing are being used by the farmers also, and they are being trained also by various institutes in producing grafted seedlings in vegetables. With that, I'd like to uh, thank all of you for your attention, for your time, for your attention, for your focus. And now I'm handing over to you, ma'am, Imanshina.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, first of all, for giving this insightful presentation, for giving the knowledge to all the participants, to me as well, how we can proceed in the same field. So thank you again. And sir, we were getting, like, we have a certain few questions. So with your permission, can we take them up, sir?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Sir, this question came from Radha, and it's she wants to ask, does it take different requirements in seedling production in different plants?
Yeah, absolutely. You see, if you're talking about plants, then the flower crops, the fruit crops, okay, the rice, that is also a seedling. Okay, you raise the rice with the seedling, so it changes from crop to crop. Okay, then the second important thing is that these constituents, the media constituents, which I have touched upon in the last slide, they also changes. Okay, so normally we use coco peat. We can experiment with or you can say the crop requires the addition of sand, it can also happen. Plus, you see, I have experimented with one of my student. She was pursuing MSc with me. So you know what activated charcoal is? The powdered charcoal. Okay, the smaller pieces of charcoal. That powdered charcoal we have experimented and we have mixed it in the cocoa peat and then checked for the raising of seedlings. So yes, these things, they changes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for resolving this query. Sir, we have another query from Masai Lama, and he says, can we predict the quality of seeds while sowing them? And if we can, how?
The quality of seeds, yeah, that's a tough question. At the farmers level, you cannot predict it, okay, because you require to test the seeds for its you can say, you require that germination percentage test, okay, you require the seedling vigorous test, okay, these things are required. But in the labs here in LPU, we do first of all test the seed lot, whatever we have got, some 10 to 15 seeds, because with the students, I'm saying, okay, MSc PhD students, they are having very few seeds, so 10 to 15 seeds will be enough. 10 to 15 seeds they take, put it them for germination in the paper towel method, okay, in the incubator, and then check for the quality of the seed. So yes, here in LPU or in other these higher education institutes, there you can find that these things can be tested easily.
Sir, thank you. So we have another question. It is from Rakesh Sinha, and he wants to know, can we have our small garden in our flats and without harming our house as well?
Yes, for that we can have another session another day, and wherein I can touch upon the raising of plants in grow bags. You see, whatever media I have discussed with you people, this cocoa peat and all these things, they can be put simply in a grow bag. Grow bags are basically polythene bags, okay, but woven polythene bags, and using media like cocoa peat or a mixture of cocoa peat, perlite, vermiculite, these things, you can raise the plants. Not only seedlings, you can raise a complete plant, and without creating a mess in your flats, okay, you can raise the plants. That is possible. I myself am raising many plants at my home. Okay.
Thank you, sir. So we have another question, and this question is from an anonymous attendee, and he wants, or maybe she wants to know, is there any possibility we can move towards organic farming completely?
Yes, ma'am. There is a possibility. You see, many farmers in India, they are practicing organic farming. Okay, and it is the need of the hour that you have to move or shift towards the use of these organic fertilizers or organic supplements to raise the crops. So that's why in LPU we are experimenting, as I've mentioned, the bioagents. Okay, I've mentioned that the use of biofertilizers. Okay, then I gave you an example of beej amrit. So all these are organic formulations. They can be used for raising of seedlings. Similarly, these can be used for raising of crops also. Although in that the context of raising the crop in a field, these things change. Okay, with the passage of time, you can see that, and why to speculate the things. You see, there are examples. A lot of examples are there from Madhya Pradesh, from Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh, by the way, you would understand, you would have read it somewhere that it is a completely organic state. Sikkim was declared a completely organic state. Okay, various states in the northeastern part of the country, Manipur, they have been declared. Uttarakhand, by the way, okay, is a organic state. So uh, there is a requirement, the need of the hour, because you cannot have a lot of cancer trains running from Jalandhar or Amritsar to various parts of the country, right, as is the case with Batinda cancer train.
Sir, I definitely agree with what you've said and the resolution that you've given to the query. Sir, now with this we have our last query, but of course not the least. And this is again from an anonymous attendee, and the question is like a general question: what all are the advancements LPU students have done in the field of agriculture? To be very specific.
Okay, you see, it's a it's a book type of question. Okay, I cannot answer it in a few words, but I would say that we here in LPU, we are trying our level best. I can give you examples from my students only. I am currently having three MSc students. You see, they are working in okra with something known as seaweed extract. So the seaweeds, they are being used for extraction. The fertilizer is being produced, and it is being used in case of seeds. Sorry, in the case of crop production, okra crop production. Another one of my student is using bioenzyme for raising of reddish crop. Okay, then one of my student is going to work on grafting, which the use of vegetable grafting in case of brinjal on the wild rootstock. And then one of my student is working on the hydroponics cultivation of bok choy and arugula. These are, by the way, exotic crops, and they are being used. They are being grown in case of hydroponics, like without the soil. You grow them in a, technically speaking, a pipe, okay, in which the water is running 24/7, and it is providing nutrients to the roots. So another student of mine, she is working with the hydrogel. Hydrogel is basically what you would have seen in case of mammy poco pants, the diaper, baby diapers. Okay, so they absorb water, and this technique can be used for raising of crops by providing lesser amount of water onto in the soil. And then one of my student, she is working on protoplast fusion biotechnology. Okay, and there are many possibilities, there are many things which, and these are only, I'm talking about my students. Similarly, we have around 2000 faculties over here, so you can imagine the scale on which LPU is working. Okay, I hope I have answered your question, and for further queries you can always visit LPU. You're always welcome.
Sir, thank you so much for resolving all the queries of our participants, and thank you so much for sharing your experience as well. And to all attendees, I would request you to start applying for the course and come in the LPU, because as sir has told, our students are reaching such great heights. So you can be another one in that list. And sir, with this, I would take your permission to show them, to take some admission process queries as well, to show them the site and how they can take admission. So with your permission, can I take it, sir? Okay. Okay. So to all the students and attendees who had questions regarding admissions as to where they can go and what do they need to do in terms of taking admission in the LPU. So you have this one short answer for this, and that is lpu.in. So you just need to visit the site lpu.in, right? So once you visit the site lpu.in, there will be this interface that will be open in front of you, right? You can see in here all the admissions, all just a moment, yeah, all the highlights that has either happened or maybe are presently happening or maybe will happen in near future. You need to explore the site, and you will not regret it, I promise. Now, since we're catering admission queries to be very specific, so we'll be just clicking on this admission, and you can see we have whole lot of segregated programs out here, very beautifully adjusted after 12th, after graduation, postgrad, doctoral, 10th, diploma, etc. So now we will be taking, let's say, an example of an undergraduate student who has done his 12th and want to take in a regular program, admission in regular program, right? So you need to go to under 12th undergraduate program and click on regular programs. So once you click on the regular program, there will be a whole lot of disciplines that would be visible in front of you. As you can see in here, we have all the disciplines that LPU has to provide to any student. You can see engineering, management, commerce, economics, architecture, library science, sociology, history, etc. Like you name any of the course and we have it here. So since we were talking a lot about agriculture today, so why not take an example of agriculture? So we'll just click on the agriculture here, and you can see once we click on the agriculture, we know that what all programs it offers under that particular discipline, right? So you can see we have BSc honors in agriculture here. So you just simply click on the course and you will be seeing whole lot of information about that course. Now to start with, we have the duration, and that is duration is 4 years, 8 semesters. Now I would like to mention one thing. We are the first university to have been approved by ICAR. So please keep that in mind. And this actually gives you the value of the university and the value of the course as well. Now, once we go down, we have the program detail, which gives you the most important thing for student is the eligibility criteria, whether you're eligible to take that course or not. You need to find it from the program details. You can see that you should be having at least 60% marks in your 10+2. With English should have been your subject, along with physics, chemistry, maths, and biology, or maybe forestry. And we have other options as well. So you need to just explore a bit about the eligibility criteria and apply. Now, I'll just move towards this highlight option in here. So once you click on highlight, there will be all the highlights that are achievement that our students have done, either research or publications, patents, impact factors, and our students have published their research papers, right? What these are all mentioned in here. Now is the rankings as well. You can see under the highlight option that whether your university has good rank or not for that particular course or particular stream. You can find it out under the highlight section. Now, I'll just directly move to curriculum part. Now, this is very interesting to note, students, is that we provide you curriculum beforehand. Like even before you take admission, you know what you will be taught, how you will be taught, and what you're going to be doing, what you're going to be learning whilst in the 4 year of this course. So you can actually make a disciplined decision as to whether you want to go this in this particular course or not, whether you want to study this particular thing or not. So I would ask you, I would urge you, request you maybe to explore this thing very keenly, so that you know that what you are going into, and so that you won't regret after taking the course later. Now is the important part for students, for anyone who's taking part in the course, is the fee structure. Again, our fee is, you simply click on fee option, right? So once you click on this, you will be getting this interface. Now, our fees is 1,20,000 per semester. But again, this is not something that our students usually pay. Why? Because they get a lot of scholarships. And you can see we have 3 categories of scholarship: category 1, 2, and 3. And based on them, you can get up to 38% of program fee waiver. That is up to 45,600 rupees would be less in your fee, and your fee would be reduced to 74,400 per semester. But again, you need to either have 95% aggregate in your 12th, or in your LPU NEST test, you should have at least 330 or above marks in around from 400. Right. So basically, where you can find these tentative cutoffs, you simply click on this blue category 1 cutoff. There is a hyperlink there. And once you click on there, you will be finding all the cutoffs. So based on the cutoffs, you will be getting the respective scholarship. Now, I'll move to different scholarship. For example, you did not get any of the scholarship mentioned here. So to not be sad, we have other scholarships as well. So you can see we have scholarships on the basis of JEE mains and the NEET exam. We have other special scholarships based on if you are a topper of an education board, or maybe you are under a part of an innovation startup or entrepreneur project, or maybe if you have any financial aid. So LPU can also provide you the same. So you simply need to check it out in which scholarship you lie in, and simply you have to apply there. Now is very important part. That is the last date of the admission. And I would like to draw your attention in here is that 25th May is the last date of admission, students. So it's not too far now. It's just 2, 3, 4 days from now. So I would urge you to start applying for the course, start applying for the test, so that you can get your favorite course and you can get your first preference of the course that you want to. Because after that, you might not be able to get your preference or the course that you want to take part in. Now is the basic question, how you can apply. And you simply just need to click on this apply now option. And once you click this apply now option, you can see we have bare minimum requirements that will be asked. That is your name, your gender, address, state, and number. And once you click on that, you will submit this and you will be given your dashboard. Okay, and from that dashboard, you can simply apply to the course or the test. Now, I hope that I have given you all the insights as to where you can find things about your course and how you can apply. Now, if I could not address anything, and if your queries are here, and maybe next time when you explore the site, you have certain queries, so how you can connect with us is from the site itself. You can either schedule a call, you can either WhatsApp us, or you can have either a live video counseling session with us as well. So our counselors will be here to provide their assistance. Now, last but not the least is when you go down at the end of the site, that is the lowest part of the site, you can see these numbers. So you can either take a screenshot of them or maybe write it down somewhere. These are the numbers that will be helping you, because our counselors will be here this side to provide their assistance to resolve your queries. So our esteemed counselors will be answering your calls, and hence you will be getting the resolution of the queries that you have. So I hope that I have given you all the insights as to where you can find your admission process, how you can apply. And if you have any questions, you can just directly post in Q&A box. And with this, sir, I would like to take your permission, and of course our attendees' permission, to wrap this webinar up, sir, if you do not want to add anything.
I just want to add one thing. I would say that all of you who are interested in coming to LPU, you will have a wonderful experience of your life. Okay, with that, thank you very much and see you next time.
Sir, thank you so much, first of all, for giving your time, for crediting your time for us, for all the participants. And thank you so much for all the participants as well, for being so much patient with us, for being so valuable, and for your questions that you've given to us. So with this, I, Himanshu Kaushik, take your leave. So until next webinar, stay safe and stay healthy. And thank you so much for joining me. And thank you, sir, again for joining, sir.